out here in God's country, Nanjemoy, of course. And I am now back at the Carroll farmhouse and the Carroll cemetery to give you an update on what has happened since our last recording. Well, the farmhouse is still here. We had hoped that we would be able to restore it, but financially that is not going to happen. So we've got it basically boarded up for now. But guess what? There's a wonderful story that I have prepared that is in a publication that's called the Posey Diggs Carroll Family Heritage. And there's pictures in this publication. We've got deeds. And I've got a little story about different people who not only lived in this structure, but also had lived what we call the up house. The up house is not here right now. Of course, it was burned down some years ago. But you'll find some stories about people who were also in up house. But right now, let's go back to this house. Some of the things that are still very visible, of course, is the old pump. How many places can you actually go and find an old well pump? This pump provided the water at one point for this family that lived in this house. But what is most interesting is that just beyond those trees was a natural spring. And they, in this area, basically on Poseytown Road, they all had their buckets in their hands, and they would go down to where that spring is right beyond those trees and bring water back. Of course, without no water, of course the family had to do what was natural. There was an outhouse on the property, and the outhouse was just where those trees are. And then, of course, they used chamber pots. And, of course, they washed up in tubs. When this dried up, basically, they went to buying bottled water because the spring also had dried up as well. This old porch and this house have seen many, many generations. It started with Angeline Carroll, who married Anthony Carroll. Right now, the last residents of this property was Anthony Carroll, the great-grandson of Richard Posey, who was white, who had children by Leotti, who was also called Liddy and Lottie, and they had 6 children. And one of those children was Anthony Carroll's father. I had the opportunity in my younger years of knowing who Carlton Carroll was. He was a big giant of a man with big hands, and he died when I was a teenager, but at least I got to get to know him.